Is it possible to stay sober at a tailgate and still have a good time? You'll find out on this episode of Storytime Sports. I interview Phins writer, a super fan for the Dolphins, who you've probably seen on TV in the deep end, the superfan section of Hard Rock Stadium. On today's episode, you'll learn the surprising ways that sobriety and tailgating can go together, what makes Dolphins fans unique, and how to get the attention of one of the most exclusive fan sections in the NFL. Enjoy our chat and let me know if you or someone you know should be on the next episode. All right, welcome to the podcast. I have to know everything about the deep end, which you seem to be an expert on. So can you walk us through what happens in the deep end?
Well, I'm one of the newer members, actually. It's been going on for a lot of years. I remember when I was really little, like 13 years old, and noticed the deep end before I even went to a game. Some of those fans in there have many, many years on me, including Jeff, Chucky, a lot of diehard fans in that deep end zone. I love every single game. I was asked to go in there, and I was very, very surprised. I moved down here from Connecticut after high school. I started going to games, started working, and it was an absolute privilege to actually get asked to join the deep end. There was a spot available. Jeff noticed that I was constantly at games, wearing a mask, cheering, standing up, and he was like, "You should try to come to where we are." And I started tailgating with them, and their tailgate is so much fun. It's almost like an additional Dolphins game on the Dolphins game. So
Wow.
always want to get there early, like 8 a.m. as soon as the gates open. And it's just an incredible experience.
What would you say is distinctive about that tailgate, or what do you love most about it?
The tailgate, well, it's all aqua and orange. Love seeing that color. Love just the feeling of the family, almost like an untraditional one, but I've gotten so close to so many people, seeing them sharing something that you love. It's very, very powerful. And it's a very powerful community. Some people like politics. Some people like go to religion every Sunday. I am religious, but that is a huge, huge event to be able to tailgate with a lot of people, have it open. There's people from all different countries. I meet people from like Belgium that are coming in. There are all sorts of accents, Mexican flags with the Dolphins logo
Wow.
on it. It's so amazing.
In the deep end itself, is it always invite only?
To have like a season ticket seat, yeah, it's invite only. Occasionally, like if someone misses a game, can't go, there's a family event, which is rare because a lot of us are don't miss games.
Yeah.
There might be a friend that gets invited in or someone that can take their place.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel like I've noticed that not everyone wears a costume in that section, right? So it's also just like the energy that you bring.
Not everyone. Of course, we have like Gorilla Luke, dresses in Big Gorilla, Girl Josh, also known as Sexy Medium. They're both really crazy fans. They've been dressing up way longer than me. Doll Freaky goes
Oh
crazy
my
with her
gosh, yeah.
outfit. Stripe always paints his beard, has crazy hair, hat. Chucky always has a bunch of gear on. But towards the end of the season, definitely, we're not missing a game. We're decked out head to toe.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some that are very, very loyal fans that might not go too crazy, but
Hmm.
they are loud as hell.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
And then their houses, their rooms, and their houses are massive man caves of dolphins everywhere.
Do you feel like you have that too, or yours is more costume and
Uh,
like cheering
I
oriented?
definitely have a bunch of gear.
Yeah.
Um, it ranges. Definitely some have more than me, and I will openly say that. They have many years of experience, Don Shula days. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a lot of memorabilia in their apartments. I've actually like given out a lot, given some like giveaways. There's been autographs that I've like a Jalen Waddle football that I've given away. It ends up being a lot of stuff. There's events. Sometimes I get things signed in training camp, but honestly, I want other fans to experience that, and I usually try to like to step back or do something more for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that? So I would imagine you keep your mask on throughout the entirety of the game. Is that partially for the other fans and for like kids to feel like you really embody this character?
Definitely a little bit of everything. I love it. I love showing the fandom. I just like to be different. Kids started to notice and look up to me. I used to be one of those kids,
Yeah.
but It's really cool being able to give out necklaces at games every time I see a kid. People give out stickers. I know Bob gives out stickers, and Dolfriki has done that too. So we always
Yeah.
try to do something for the kids because there's a lot of drinking. There's a lot of adults that might not be in the right element for kids, but there's a lot of joy to have, especially with kids there and
Yeah.
families.
That's actually a great segue into. I noticed the X's on your gloves as kind of a
Yes,
nod to sobriety.
it
And I'm
is.
curious how that fits in with fandom because I know tailgates are known for being pretty alcohol heavy spaces, games themselves. Like, how have you found that?
Very alcohol heavy. I would definitely agree with that statement. Drinking has never been a part of my life and it never will. I've had some families battle with it, but I found many ways to have a lot of fun. I don't discourage drinking. Some people might get the wrong idea with that, but I do not do that. I never tell anyone that they can't drink or do whatever they want. It's just a personal belief that I don't just choose not to do that. Almost all my friends do drink. Some have given up even recently that I've noticed in the deep end. I'm not alone. A lot of people are having a ton of fun, whether they are drinking or not. I've noticed both ways. Yes, tailgating, it makes you fit in. I think holding a drink or doing the shots.
Right.
Everybody does so many yellow shots that are painted aqua and orange. Like it's a lot of peer pressure.
Yeah.
But there's always other things. You can have a popsicle that's orange or something like that. There's a lot of things that you can do still. Tossing the beanbag, listening to music, just vibing out. We try to have a great time for everyone.
Yeah. And I would imagine because you're close to these people, they know where you're coming from, they know your story, they're not gonna, press you. And then it also probably makes it more welcoming to other people who don't drink because they see someone who's like such a huge part of this fan base not doing it.
Yeah, especially too, like for the beginning months, I always try to give out Gatorade. I bring like a giant cooler, and
It's
even though
awesome.
they start out drinking, almost every single person wants one at the end
Yep.
because it gets extremely hot. And what I noticed too is everyone likes zero sugar Gatorade, so I always try to get those. Got a
Okay.
lot of requests
Interesting.
for those.
Interesting.
Guess it's a thing.
Did you find any particular super fans inspiring for your costume direction? It seems like yours is very unique, very tethered in Ghost Rider lore, but were you inspired by any of these people who you now sit in the stands with?
Not really.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider was always an inspiration. It was my favorite superhero growing up. Loved Nicolas Cage's actor with the chain. I don't have the chain with me right now, but there's one that goes with this
Oh, that's
costume.
awesome.
But I've always loved it. And then kind of like a pirate theme too, like with the flag
Yeah.
here, you can see with like the chains instead of swords, kind of like a cross.
And is it true that you hand painted your own mask? Or was that
Yes.
only in the early days?
No, yeah, this is all
It's
painted.
really good.
That one was painted with the aqua and white stripe, started out.
That's incredible. Okay, so say someone is new to the deep end. What chants, what traditions can they expect once they're there? So, besides just being really loud, are there dolphin specific
Well, you
things
have to
that
know
they
the
should know about?
Dolphins theme song that
Right.
we're number one, and when we score, it's been a tradition forever. You got to know that one. Always loud on defense and quiet on offense. If you start screaming on offense, you're not going to blend in very well.
Yep.
We will get mad. But if you got to be on your feet, you got to be loud. The one thing that is part of the deep end is if you're in the first four rows, you stand at all times. That's the biggest tradition. Some people might not like that. And there are many people that prefer the club level. And
Right.
I agree. I say, go for it. If you want to relax, some AC up there and enjoy the game, you go right ahead. I know many diehard fans. It doesn't make you a bigger fan or not. But for us, this is something that we really like to do. It doesn't make us a bigger fan than anyone else, but standing the whole game is a tradition that we really want to dedicate and show our pride for the Dolphins.
For sure. What do you go to besides the game? So, are you doing training camp? You're doing preseason games? Are you doing draft stuff too?
Yeah, so we were at a draft party. It was
Nice.
really cool. It was a little bit smaller because the F1 race was down here, so
Mm,
we couldn't have it at the stadium, which was controversial, but it's something that we really want. Other than that, definitely the training camp coming up is something I try to go to at least a few. When I was in college, I went to every single one. But now that I have a job, it's a little bit harder.
yeah.
And I'm graduated. So I try to go as many as I can. I know some people that take off for the full week of work.
Wow.
great for them. Maybe they're clearly a bigger fan than me. I try to go as many as I can. It's a lot of fun. Really good for kids. They're the ones that deserve like those autographs
Yeah.
to be up front. I don't even really go near it anymore. Towards the end, I like to find a player that isn't like as popular and get to know him more. And you can really have a good conversation. Like Matt Hawk used to be the punter, and he like knew my name. Like it was awesome
That's
because we
great.
would like talk every training camp. That was really
Yeah.
cool.
I'm curious. I've seen pictures on your Instagram of a Dolphins themed car. Is that yours?
Okay, so the white one I used to have.
Okay.
So I
Wow.
don't have it anymore. I had it for years. It's retired. It's gone.
Mm.
So I have a Camaro, and it's black and white. It still has a big giant Dolphins logo on the side.
Okay.
It still says Miami Dolphins on this windshield, but I love the Vice colors.
Okay.
So I made it pink and turquoise this time.
What is the most contentious or like heated things have gotten with either Jets or Patriots or Bills fans? Or do you think everything has always been pretty chill within Hard Rock?
Within Hard Rock, it's chill.
Okay.
If you go away, it ain't chill. That's the biggest problem. I've gone to Jets games. The Bills are the worst. I've never been to a Bills away game. I've been
It seems
told really,
dangerous.
really bad stories.
Yeah.
It's always freezing too during that time of the year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be freezing this year, so that might be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's always really, really cold. Down here, they fill up the stadium. It's pretty bad. A lot of them travel. But I haven't had any like really bad experiences with any fans. When I was younger, there was like a bunch of Patriot fans when they had
Oof.
Tom Brady that were really mean to me. They were like, "Go home." But I was at like 12 years old during
Right.
that time, and I don't think you should yell at a 12-year-old, but
No.
people could go crazy with alcohol. You see the other color or
You're saying these are grown adults who would
oh
say
yeah.
this to you? I thought you
Oh
meant like
yeah.
your classmates. Oh
Oh,
my
no, no,
God.
no. At the game, there was grown adults. There was one guy that was dressed as a Santa Claus at the Patriots game and said, "You're getting cold for wearing those colors to me." Like, yeah, it was bad.
Well, that's
Yeah,
hard.
there's some cold fans, but there's a lot of nice fans.
Do people have like hard lines around like they will not date or marry someone who is a fan of another team or a fan of a
It's
rival?
interesting that you said that. Like, I asked someone the other season, a bunch of my friends, like, would you marry someone that's a Bills
Yeah,
fan or a Patriots fan? Would you date someone like that? And that question was actually going around. I would say it was like almost 50-50.
really?
Honestly, yeah. There was
Wow.
a lot of people that were definitely willing, didn't care because you do share the fandom of football. They said, I'd rather be with someone who even likes football. It's hard to find someone who likes football to
For sure.
share that. I know a lot of couples that do like different teams that are in very, very healthy marriages that love each other very much. And it's great to see that. Some people don't want it. I don't see it as too big of a deal. Some people say, as long as it's not in my division.
In my division, yep.
That's a big other thing. So
Yeah, and I
it's
guess it
really
depends on their degree of fandom, right? If they like football, but they're not like diehard Jets fans, then perhaps it works.
yeah, some said no problem, some not so much.
Intriguing. Okay, so you'd mentioned earlier being a kid in Patriots territory. Can you tell us a little bit about that? So you grew up in Florida and then you moved to Connecticut when you were little?
Yeah, I grew up in Florida, lived all my life here, and then in high school and the end of middle school, I lived in Connecticut and Patriots territory. Unfortunately, a lot of Patriot for the years that they had Brady was not very fun. They
Yeah.
dominated.
Were you like super Dolphins fan when you moved there, or were you kind of more just like, oh, I like it, but I'm not like crazy about it yet?
That's honestly where I became a super Dolphins fan because I missed
Wow.
home so much. And that was my way of wearing my home, my roots.
Yeah.
So I wore a jersey almost every day to school. Like I had the
Wow.
like when it was snowing, I always had a Dolphin beanie. Always.
That's
Because it was a lot
incredible.
of cold days. As much as I could wear Dolphins colors. It was something that I always loved. And it was super cool too, like when you saw like another Dolphins fan out in
I
such a
bet.
rare territory. That's like the best. Like now I'm in Florida, there's a lot of Dolphins fans, so it's not as much of that excitement when you see someone that is Dolphins, I think.
Yeah.
But it's still exciting
Yeah,
either
that's more
way.
like meeting someone in the wild. That feels
Yeah, it's
thrilling.
pretty cool when you travel and you're like, "Hey, you're a Dolphins fan too." So
Yeah.
that's always nice
How
to
did the other
see.
kids react to your jerseys and Dolphins pride?
There was like one or two Dolphin fans, which was cool, at my school, but many of them, there was even one friend that was like a season ticket holder family for Patriots. Like it was bad.
My gosh.
It was during a time where they were really good, so you can't really defend yourself as much when the
Yeah.
Dolphins aren't doing as well.
Yeah. Well, that's tricky. But you were like determined to move back then. You were like, I can't stay here for the rest of my life.
I did not want to stay there for the rest of my life. That
Okay, that's fair. So you moved back to Florida as soon as you could. Okay, let me see. What other questions did I want to make sure I asked you? Losing. I want to hear about losing. What helps you when the Dolphins lose? When the team has lost for a couple of games in a row or is having a rough season? Do you feel like you
I
lean on
wish
your
you
other
could call
fans?
my friend Fernando in here with me because that is something we always talk about. He sits right next to me in the deep end. He's the biggest guy there. He
Okay.
might be the loudest guy there. He's one of them. We always say that we don't know if we hate losing more than we love winning.
Interesting.
And that is something that really can stick with you if you think about it,
Hmm.
because it's very difficult to test your mind with.
Yeah.
Because when you're dedicating a huge part of your life, especially to it, it's a lot more involved. And that's something that we constantly ask. We don't really know the answer, to be honest. I think he does hate losing more. I think in the moments we haven't had that like playoff run. So when if we have that, it would be a better comparison. If we went to the
Hmm.
Super Bowl, if we had a really good winning run, then I'd like to answer that question better. But right now, it's like we just hate losing because of the fact that it's like we missed the playoffs by one, or we're a
Yeah.
wild card again and again, another wild card, and it's hard. It's definitely
Yeah.
difficult, especially with Josh Allen existing.
Yep. What is your vibe when you lose? Like, are you the type of person who just goes silent? Are you the type that needs space? Do you need to, like, smack talk the other team with your friends? Like, what place does your mind go to when you lose?
My mind goes to the next game.
Great. Okay.
It just goes to the next game. We got to win the next game or we got to win out. That's where my mind goes. Here's the trends that happens at every single sports team. When team starts to lose, their prices of tickets go down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the saddest thing to see because it shows zero loyalty.
Yeah.
Teams win, all of a sudden the prices go way high. That's something too. When you win a Super Bowl, some people can't even renew their season tickets because it's so damn expensive. And
Yeah.
that's really sad to see because now you kick the loyal fans out. But if your team loses, then the loyal fans can go to every single game pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's definitely pros and cons
Okay.
about that situation.
Okay. I like that. It's a good way of thinking. Last question for you. What would you like to see next in your fandom? Like, what aspirations do you have for the directions you want it to take or things you want to attend?
For Finn's Rider,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I love what I'm doing. I want to keep bringing the community together. I'd love to do more giveaways. That's something that I want to do. That's something that I always like doing, giving back. I would love to be able to collaborate with like a player, maybe someone who isn't as popular, and give away his jersey. I think that would be really, really cool to bring more attention. That's something that I can see definitely in the future for Finn's Rider. Yeah, that's like the main mission right now.
And is the best way for people to track what you're offering or doing your Instagram at Fins Writer?
Yeah, definitely the Instagram is going to be number one. Kind of just starting on TikTok, and then Facebook is one of the best followings too.
Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wish I had, or anything you wanted to share that you didn't get a chance to?
Honestly, not really. I freaking love the Dolphins. I want other people to show their fandom. That's really one of the messages that I always like to give out is don't be afraid to be different. If you live like in a place outside of Florida, don't be scared to go to an away game. Don't be scared to rock your colors and show who you really support because I was there before and you might actually run into someone that supports your same team and he just might not be wearing a hat of your team. So never be afraid to show your pride for the sports. That's a huge message of what I have. If you don't drink, don't ever feel pressured to do so. It's not what it's all about in football. You can have such a blast, bring your family, go as a solo too. That's something too. A lot of people, oh, I don't have anyone to go with. You can come to so many tailgates. If you're in the area, you can reach out to me or one of our other Dolphins fans. I've had one guy fly in, and I literally like drove him to the airport and fly out that day before.
Wow.
It was
That's
really, really
incredible.
cool. He's like, I don't really know anyone. I was like, okay, cool. You can come and hang out at our tailgate the whole time. During the game, you'll sit at your seat, but you'll meet back up with us, and it's going to be very, very enjoyable. So just because you might not be able to sit in that like deep end section, you can try to get close to it. Anywhere in the stadium, it's going to be fantastic. You're going to see that team. Try to get there early. You can see players warm up. I always suggest that. There's always events going on around the stadium at every game.
Awesome.
And if you are like looking for like that player interaction, sometimes I always talk about this too. Going down to training camp is one of the
Mm,
best things that you can do as a Dolphins fan, at least to experience that once.
yeah.
Some people like it even more than the actual games because you're literally like kind of like going backstage, and it's an amazing experience. But yeah, just do everything that you love. And if it
Awesome.
is something that you love, go for it.
And it really sounds like family and a great way to connect and a really inclusive group to be a part of. That's awesome.
Yeah, the deep end is another family for me. I can't think of them enough. And Jeff and Chucky and Dolph Freaky and Gorilla Luke actually like invited me in one game before, like stood right next to him in the front row when I was little, and that was a wonderful experience. And it definitely changed my life, and I feel like I'm dedicated to the Dolphins for life now. And I want to shout out to Lisa, which is the fan of the year for the
Yeah.
Dolphins. She does things a lot more than I do. She raises so much money for cancer. She is very devoted for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge.
She seems incredible.
Very incredible story. Very incredible. Her whole life is the Dolphins. I think she wakes up and goes to bed thinking about the Dolphins every day, and her mission is really, really wonderful. Um, if
Yeah,
you
I'll
have
put
a
her
mission
details
to
in the show notes too so people can find her and kind of
awesome,
track
yeah.
the cool work that she's doing.
Yeah, there's so many fans. It's not just football. We try to tie in so many more things to bring that community together.
Well, thank you for joining today and for letting us into this world a little bit. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
That's it for my chat with Phins writer. If you want to learn more about him or any of the other fans he mentioned, check the show notes for more details. Thanks for listening to Storytime Sports. Don't be a stranger. Hit me up at footballfangirl23 on Instagram or TikTok if you think I should chat with you or someone you know for my next episode. I'm looking for passionate fans with interesting stories. And if it's the athlete stories you're looking for, check out my Instagram or TikTok to find more. Until next time.